Next, let's go over calibration. After clicking, we will see calibration menu on the left. On the right is the peristaltic pumps calibration. Let's start with these sensors, specifically pH. After clicking, you can see a pH calibration menu. This is used to select the electrode number. For multivessels, it is more commonly used in such cases. Now, this is a single tank configuration, so generally, choosing one is sufficient. First, we need to perform zero calibration. This is the pH value for the neutral calibration buffer. After clicking, perform calibration. Here is internal zero. After calibrating, the calibration time will be updated. After finishing zero calibration, we should calibrate slope. This is the pH value for the acid calibration buffer. Since it is 2-point calibration, if the whole system is more acidic, it is recommended to use a neutral and an acidic standard solution. If the whole system is more alkaline, it is advised to use the neutral solution as the 0 point. Then an alkaline standard solution serves as a slope. This improves calibration accuracy. Slope will be displayed. It will also show the last calibration time. This is the correct button, which is actually meant for single-point correction. For example, during the cultivation process, if pH becomes inaccurate. After sampling, if there is a significant discrepancy between the offline measured pH and the online pH reading, this function can be used, as pH electrode would become inaccurate. This will correct it to more accurate. It's important we need calibrate 0 point at first, and the 0 point should be calibrated using the neutral standard solution. Then, calibrate slope. When calibrating, wait for it to stabilize. Then click End, and the value will input into the system. Let's demonstrate. Since I haven't inserted the electrode, 5.33, it remains around 14. If before calibration, it has developed a significant error, or if you want to recalibrate it, you can click Reset. This will clear the previous calibration record, which makes more accurate for future calibrations. Because no electrodes were inserted, I can demonstrate. After I click, because the deviation is too high, a prompt will appear here, as zero calibration is to be within plus or minus 2.0. Then the slope will be between 0.5 and 2.0. It has exceeded the range, so it alerts me that this calibration is abnormal. I need to recalibrate it. Then, as you can see after I click End, the internal 0 point has been forced to 6.86. This is already abnormal, so we need to reset. To reset it, and then recalibrate it. The actual calibration will be demonstrated later. Next, let's talk about dew calibration. Similar to pH, there is an option to select the electrode number. It will display the current PV value. There is also a reset function. Zero calibration and slope calibration are similar to pH calibration, internal 0 point, and calibration procedure. Likewise, you must calibrate the 0 point first, then calibrate the slope. Similarly, I will perform a demonstration without the electrode. Because it's currently 0, so it won't trigger this error. This means the calibration succeeded. I will assign the current value as 0, then the slope, as there is no electrode. So it remains at 0. Then I click and you can see the 0 point needs to be less than or equal to 20%. And the slope must be between 0.2 and 5.0. It could be within a normal range. When a value exceeds the normal range, it will display an alarm notification. You can see the internal slope has become very high. Then I finish calibration. Because the calibration failed, you need to click Reset. Then recalibrate it. Next, let's talk about temperature calibration. Since the temperature sensor is the point 100, it is quite stable. Generally, it doesn't require calibration. However, based on customer needs, calibration will also be required. It can be done here. Similarly, it displays the current temperature value, as well as a reset option. It also has an internal calibration method, which consists 0 calibration and slope. And it shows an internal display, as well as the last calibration time, which is similar to pH and dew. Besides these 3 parameters, for the agitator, it can also be calibrated, but this function is not available to customers. If needed, please contact sales. Let's talk about calibration of peristaltic pumps. The standard configuration includes 4 pumps, and if there are more pumps, their calibration will be displayed below. For the 4 pumps, these menu is identical, showing rate and 1 turn increase, which means the volume in milliliters per revolution. Then here is calibration volume, with start and stop buttons for calibration. And below the last calibration time, there are the calibration conditions. To ensure your calibration is accurate, because the peristaltic pump operates in pulses, and to enhance its precision, you need to set these conditions correctly so that they match your actual cultivation conditions. This way, calibration will be more accurate. For example, if I have a 10-second cycle, it should run continuously for 10 seconds. That is, it should run continuously at 60 rotations per minute. If necessary, according to the process, if needed. For instance, with a 10-second cycle, it operates intermittently. Then stop for 5 seconds. Once you've set these conditions, proceed with the calibration. Next, taking continuous operation as an example. Before calibration starts, I need to set the volume correctly. For example, if I prepared 100 milliliters of water, click Start, and the system will begin timing, while the peristaltic pump will also start operating. When you notice the water in the beaker is sucked up, we click Stop. After stopping, the pump will stop, based on volume, rotation speed, and cycle. It will calculate a coefficient and finally determine the rate. Here, you can also manually adjust the value. This is the alkali pump. You can see the interface for the acid pump is exactly the same. For the feed pump, because this one is a fixed speed pump, its coefficient won't display. It uses a built-in fixed speed for rotation. To calibration.